Hi guys, this is Rachel and Sam from Instant Beauty Hair Extensions.
So we thought we would make a video on how to make your curls last longer. I actually have really stubborn hair, so this video is perfect for me. Some of these tips came from Sam, but also from my stylist, who told me how to help keep my curls last longer because I have a really hard time now. I don't know why, but hopefully these tips can help you guys. So the first tip is to use day-old hair when you're curling. Actually, day-old hair has more texture, so it holds a curl much better than hair that would be clean, just because it just works better.
Yeah, it makes your hair more moldable, I guess, and if you know your hair gets very oily, you can always use a good dry shampoo to get you through a couple days, and it actually adds to the texture. So the next tip is to lose the deep conditioner. Basically, you want to use a really lightweight conditioner whenever you're washing your hair if you're planning to curl it afterwards, because the deep conditioners can really weigh your hair down. So you do want to avoid that. That way your curls don't get weighed down and then essentially fall out after a while. So the whole point is to keep them longer. So of course, save the treatments for another time.
So our third tip is to take care of your hair. If you have damaged hair, you might actually have a hard time curling it. It might not hold the curl very well, or might not last very long, and it also might be frizzy. So if you have damaged ends, it's always good to get rid of the damaged bits and just keep your hair pretty healthy, and it will curl a lot better and last a lot longer.
Yeah, regular trims are always a good thing. The next tip is to choose the right tool to curl your hair. Often people use curling irons, which are great, but I find that flat irons or curling wands actually do the job a lot better, and they allow for the curl to last a lot longer. Especially if you are using a flat iron or a curling wand with a temperature setting. This way you can increase the temperature or decrease the temperature depending on what you need. Of course, the hotter the heat setting, usually the longer the curl will last, but you do want to be careful that you don't damage your hair, so be careful with that. But again, you do want to choose the right tool and the right size of the tool. That way you get the right curl that you want.
And if you don't know if a tool works on you, just test it out. I mean, I have a hard time curling with a flat iron as well as a curling iron. Curling iron actually just straightens my hair. So I'm good with a wand and Sam's good with a flat iron. So every hair is different, but just test them out and work with what you got.
That's true. And actually, just to add on to the final tip, it's a good idea to use hot curlers if you have very fine limp hair that really doesn't do anything, because this way you'll achieve a better curl even past any of the tools like a flat iron or curling iron. So the hot curlers are really good for fine limp hair.
It for sure lasts a really long time.
Yeah.
The next tip is to get the texture right and use the right products. Sometimes we bog ourselves down by putting so much product in because we think we need it, but really when you're curling your hair, you only need a few things.
Yeah. The best thing to do is first start with a heat protectant spray so you don't damage your hair further. And then depending on how much texture you need, if your hair is very fine or straight, you may need a little bit extra texture. You could use a mousse, a lightweight mousse or gel before you start, or just a quick spray of hairspray just to really give yourself some texture. And then of course afterwards a final spray of hairspray is really all you need. You don't want stiff curls because they don't look good. You want your curls to be bouncy.
The next tip is, or our final tip really, is to use bobby pins to pin the curls up. Sometimes one of the best things when you're curling is to set your curls and not touch them right away. Let the heat kind of, your hair to kind of cool down so it takes the curl. One thing you can do is actually pin your curls up and it will hold it even longer and make sure that it sets perfectly. If your hair is, a little bit difficult to curl, it's always a good tip to do that.
Yeah, let the hair cool while it's in the pin. So that way when you remove the pin, it's still very tight, curly,
and bouncy.
Bouncy.
blah, blah, blah. Words.
Words.
So that's all for Rachel and Sam. We hope that you learned something and you get some nice bouncy curls from this video. If you have any tips, leave them down below, or any comments, leave them down below. And we'll see you guys in our next video. If you're new, subscribe. If not, then hi, and give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.